conversations from the reports that you submit, and just engage me with that next time. That's all. That's all. You can respond.
There's one issue which I will openly put to you. Do you think it would be appropriate if persons who have been on the program, or even persons who have been mentors, no, persons who have been on the program cannot do so publicly. We would have to meet with them privately. But mentors who speak about the program, we could invite a couple of them to be here to tell us what has been their experience in mentoring children who were referred to them. Do you think that would be appropriate to invite some of the mentors? Okay. So, Julia, remember, as Venetia, we're going to invite not more than about 3 or 4 of the mentors to come, you know. No, not necessarily the 24th, but later on. And also, I know that a few of the mentees, some of them, they have been to the office regularly to speak with us. They would like to talk about the program too, but I would like them to speak in private, you know, and I think it would be useful for you to ask them anything, what are the shortcomings, and so on of the program. So those are 2 things we'll do, but it would be nice to hear from the mentors, because that gives a good indication, because we need more mentors. So it would be nice for them to speak about the program. So bear that in mind, Julia. Okay?
Minister, I'm happy to see that you're going to have the mentors here, because I do think it's important to have the voice of individuals who've gone through this program, because it gives life to an act which just seems like this nebulous thing. And I just wanted to note that the CPFSA under the Ministry of Education will be presenting on this, because we do have a very important stakeholder there.
They have been a part of the program everywhere.
Exactly, and so we'll also do a presentation from the Ministry of Education
absolutely.
too.
So one day next week, or one of we will set a date for them to come. And yes.
One of my greatest concerns, because it's such a good program, but it doesn't help children who fall afoul with the law under the new Farm Licensing Act. And it is particularly distressing. They can get relief dealt with under the Probation Act, but child diversion, and I think it is really important that it comes. And I say so because right now I can think of a child who was just 11, no injury, just in a particular situation, and all the reports prior to being caught, prior to, after, and everything, best behaved child, everything. And you just fall flat in the middle of all of that. And truly, if we are doing expungement matters and helping adults, there is no reason why we should stop and not consider extending it to that. Because some of these children are growing in homes where the influence in big yard, in situations where they get caught in situations and they do need the help.
I must emphasize, just to take off from what Minister Dalrymple said, this act is to keep children out of institutions. In other words, it's to keep children out of the formal institution of the criminal justice system. And it's not well known, you see. And what you're saying, in fact, with due respect, having met with several judges, they have also misinterpreted the law. Misinterpreted the law. They actually believe that the child must plead guilty first before they... And the answer is no. It's the reason why the act is there is to divert them away from the formal justice system. So we want to make it very clear in the law. And we, SG, let's look and see how we can widen it so that the discretion is wide for the judge or the police in all matters of children. being given the opportunity to go straight without having to go through the formal system.
Chair, if I may, hearing the contribution from Minister, perhaps you may want to ask the Ministry of National Security and Peace to provide their input.
Good point. We could. All right. So I want to thank everyone.
Chair, one
Sure,
last
sure.
question. I don't know if it was covered before I arrived. I apologize for being late.
That's it.
Was any decision taken as to whether or not the committee would always meet in person or whether there'd be some flexibility to members to attend virtually?
Mr. Nash?
Had we considered that? No?
I think it might not be a bad idea to have virtual meetings. And one of the reasons why we should also open that possibility, maybe some of the mentors who would like to speak might be from Santa Cruz or Rambla. I know there's a mentor in Hanover who, whenever I'm there, this is mentor tells me so much about this child that she has been. The child has gone through the program successfully, but she's still mentoring the child after almost 2 years. So not mentor, but communicating with the child who is still at school. So, to get that person into Kingston wouldn't make sense. I would just ask her if she would be prepared to go to an appropriate place and speak to us. All right?
Yes.
So we need to...
Which is not to say, Chair, that I'm proposing that we have a situation where you sit in the chair in the chamber and there's nobody else here with you. But perhaps if there could be some flexibility that if
Sure.
a member needs to have a link on a particular day, that a member could have virtual access.
Don't we have to get parliamentary approval?
So once it's confirmed in committee, I will write to the relevant person.
All right, but not for the next 2 weeks. Not for next week, okay?
Very well.
But after that, we will
Very well.
certainly
Very
put
well.
that into place. I want to thank everyone for being here today and look forward to a very successful set of proceedings of this committee.
Can you just ask him to hang back for a second?
Hmm?
Can you just ask him to hang back for a second?
Could everybody just hold off to receive the documents? They're here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, we are going to have a lot of fun today. And which consonant blend we're going to do today? What do you think? Okay, so we are going to do the consonant blend BR. And the BR makes the brr sound. The BR makes the brr sound. All right, remember that, we have a little jingle. It says BR, say brr. Brr as in brush. Brr as in branch. Brr, brr. All right, remember that. Okay, so your job, the objectives for this lesson are to identify BR consonant blend words, to complete given sentences with the appropriate BR word, and also recognize and identify the position of the BR consonant blend in words. All right.